The wave of AI keeps building momentum, from digital assistants,
1,000 times,
chatbots, facial recognition, social media algorithms, self-driving cars.
Follow that man. Follow him. Follow him.
The list is endless. And many individuals, businesses, corporations, governments are simply reveling in this powerful technology.
We are having with artificial intelligence currently is extreme, is very powerful.
So, how can we transform our industries using AI? And should it be regulated? Well, let's get to the genesis. AI is simply the computer simulation of human intelligence. In the 1940s and 50s, a group of scientists began to discuss the possibility of creating an artificial brain, and the field of artificial intelligence was officially birthed at a Dartmouth workshop in 1956. Decades down the line, AI-driven technologies have continued to create excitement in the tech world. In Nigeria, tech experts believe that this technology can be harnessed to transform our industries. However, there are key issues which need to be addressed.
Well, first of all, we have to take care of the fundamentals, and that starts with number one, the data. We do generate a lot of data, but we actually don't collect it or harness it. So that's something we need to look at. The second big issue we need to take care of is the infrastructure. Obviously, the data has to live somewhere. It has to be collected through some technical means, and so on and so forth. The third big issue, I would say, rests on around the human beings, the human capital, creating the right kind of awareness, developing the right kind of technical expertise, not just at the senior level, but actually at that middle technical operative level. And then I think the fourth key area would revolve around issues of governance, ethics, and how to manage these processes. Now, having said that, one also has to be very cognizant of the need for us to get, yes, our infrastructure right, but also to get our research and development right. And I think also to create that kind of environment or ecosystem, preferably a multi-stakeholder ecosystem that can understand the issues as they evolve.
On the issue of data, you see, at the core of an AI system is the quality of its data. And that's why data bias is a concern in this field. This happens when the data used to power an AI system does not truly represent the real world it is intended to serve. For instance, imagine a self-driving car which is not trained to recognize a pedestrian belonging to a race which isn't captured in the AI system. Now, speaking of self-driving cars, there are already safety concerns. A self-driving Uber killed a woman in Arizona, United States, after it failed to recognize that people could violate pedestrian traffic regulations. Big companies like Cruise and Tesla have had to recall their self-driving vehicles over issues of safety. The concerns about the likely dangers of development in this field continues to grow, with many countries beginning to see the need for regulation. An example is the EU's AI Act, which is seeking to prevent tech companies from releasing dangerous systems into EU countries.
Politicians in Europe will vote on a proposal to bring in a law that would govern the use of artificial intelligence. The move comes after warnings from experts of serious risks and consequences if it continues to go unregulated.
Tech experts in Nigeria agree to the need for regulation. The question is, how can this be done without stifling innovation?
Many would argue that the EU over-regulates. But when you go to somewhere like the US, one would argue that the US under-regulates. And the analogy I would use is like when you are cooking a pot of soup, you need some salt, the regulation. But of course, if you put too much salt, it spoils the soup. If you put too little salt, the soup doesn't really come out very nicely. And so the question is, how do we develop our own regulation, learning lessons from these different groups? But that regulation must cater to our own ethics, our own worldview, and our own philosophy, which now begs the question that Nigeria in particular, Africa in general, need to develop our own AI-related philosophy, our own AI-related ethics, our own AI-related principles, and certainly our own AI-related frameworks, governance and other frameworks. So these are things that we have to do from our perspective, in our interest. And it's not a question of one or two people sitting in an air-conditioned office in the capital. It has to be a multi-stakeholder approach because AI actually impacts everything.
Advancement in technology has no doubt optimized many life experiences. However, just like too much of everything becomes harmful, AI needs to be controlled.